Welcome in, everybody. Thumbs up, you hear me? Thanks, Chris. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cleveland, Ohio. Awesome. Benedict, what part of the world are you from, if you don't mind answering? Hey, Stephen. Takeo. Oh, Stephen, I was watching the Montreal Canadiens. I know it was preseason. And Toronto. Oh, Philippines, nice. Go Oilers. Oh, gosh, yeah. I've been a lifelong Oilers fan since Wayne Gretzky. Montreal Canadiens. Patrick Waugh was my favorite player, so big hockey fan. Now hanging out in Minnesota, so I will get to see some Minnesota. I think it's the Wild play. Oh, yeah, Oilers are great. Stephen, if I was living in Montreal, it's almost like, how can you live in Montreal without being a Montreal fan? Florida. Oh. Stephen, you're like my wife. Big Boston fan. Jacksonville, Florida. Philippines, I believe right now it is 3 a.m. for you. If I'm correct, I am good on my time zone because I'm talking to somebody in the Philippines right now. Oh, okay, so I was pretty close. Being from Vincent, like being from Canada, I was thinking this the other day. It's how much collegiate football, collegiate sports in general get lost on me coming from Canada. Alrighty. Shortly, Silvio will be joining us. Looks like he is going to go over podcast and digital products. I 100% I'm going to be learning on this one. I don't know, has anybody dabbled with the podcast or the two widgets we're going over? Hi, Hazel. I played with the podcast digital products, so I will admit I have not played around with that. But the podcast I certainly have, and I've actually been interviewed on a couple of podcasts. Oh, my one was quite fascinating because they were 16-year-olds. One was in the UK and the other one was in France, and they were partners together. I mean, I wanted to do a podcast on them, on how they found each other and everything, but we ended up doing almost 2 hours on a podcast with these two young gentlemen. Okay.
Hey there.
And Silvio.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Nice seeing you, Scotty, and nice seeing all of these people, all these nice people as usual.
Yeah, a couple of new names. Mm-hmm. Yeah, most people watch ours on replays. I see it over on YouTube. The vast majority, if not, well, it can't be 100% because they're all watching it.
Makes sense, obviously, because you need to make time in your schedule, so it's all right. At the same time, I think that if you can, it is always, and I hope that the people here agree with this. The fact that we do it live, that we answer questions live, that you have the option to actually, to chance to ask questions, to interact with, me and you, I think that is pretty valuable too, right? So I fully understand. And hello, everybody that is watching the replay of this video on our YouTube channel. But at the same time, I think if you have time, it's an hour that we spend together, and it gives, I think it's a good opportunity also to learn and to also steer a little bit, the conversation towards something that you might be interested in, right?
So yeah, I agree, 100%. All right, well, since we are all set and ready to go, I'm going to put myself on mute and let Silvio dig into it here. And Silvio, take it away.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much, Scotty. Well, yeah, let's maybe wait just a couple more minutes to to see if people are coming on board a little bit later. And yes, so in the meantime, I just wanted to remind you that we have obviously the CSS course live. I don't know, Scotty, if you put the link previously. I guess so. And
Right there.
yeah, we have that, and this I think is also, thank you, Scotty. This is also a chance, for all of us to understand also what topics you will want me to cover. You will want me to cover in the next webinars, and if you want to, if you're interested in the next courses, the difference, let's say, between the course and the webinar is that, let's say, the webinar is a little bit more, let's say, casual in a way. It's a little bit more has a little bit more of free flow, right? So hey, Patrick. So we talked, obviously we have a topic, but then questions and little details or something else takes us obviously in some directions and maybe down some rabbit holes, or in general it gives us a slightly less, let's say, in-depth analysis of a topic. So far, the only course that I've created and I've released, and that was my first course actually. So I hope that whoever bought it, appreciates the fact that I put so much effort in my first ever course, and it looks like they are really enjoying it. It is, as you know, in CSS, and the idea was to create base course that would give you the foundational knowledge that you need to understand and to use and to build your own to let's say integrate and create and customize your websites with CSS, which is I have to say, the most powerful tool that you can acquire, the most powerful knowledge that you can gain in a platform like ours, right? Because our platform allows you to live the programming part, the HTML part, so the structure, and then obviously the backend programming, and also the front end with CSS. It allows you to leave it to us, to our platform. So what you need to do, what you can do to customize the way your websites look like and your websites behave is CSS. And actually, we have some amazing templates built by, for example, Diego here in Italy, and then other templates obviously built by our great CSS developer Benny, right? And you can see in the templates that we share, or in general in websites that people are building with our platform, the quality of the result that you get when you combine a platform like ours with some advanced or a little bit more in-depth knowledge of a language, let's say, like CSS. So again, be it with my CSS course, be it with the some webinars that we have done, some webinars that we have done about CSS, I strongly invite you to actually go and if that's what you want to do. And I think it is learning CSS, either again, however you want to learn it, gives you that edge over all of your competitors, which are somehow forced to take whatever either our platform or other platforms or WordPress gives them, right? So that gives you that little additional control that you can have, the little or big, you know, advantage that you can then immediately transform into more revenues, higher higher prices for your customers, and overall much more satisfaction on the part of your customers. So I'm preaching obviously, and again, I'm not referring only to my CSS course, but in general, if there's one thing I would suggest you start learning, that is absolutely CSS, because it gives you even more power in what you can do with a platform like MobiFirst. So that is, let's say, what I wanted to say. Jumping into the topics of today's webinar, as anticipated in the email, we are going to talk about two widgets, right? One is the digital products widget, and the other one is the podcast widget. I hope we will have enough time, because both of these widgets, as you can already imagine, are very, very powerful, very effective, and so we can spend some time talking and working on that in this 45 minutes that we have now. As usual, as usual, write your questions. I will jump, let's say, back and forth from the site builder and from the site. So talking about the widgets and showing you what the widgets look like and how you use them and all that, and then coming back to answering questions, because that is also an essential part of these webinars. As we said, while it is important that you watch the replays and that you watch these webinars, it is also extremely effective. I think that I'm here, me and Scotty, we are here to answer questions that might arise during the webinar. So let me share my screen as usual. All right. Okay, and then let's wait for the usual time that Webinar Ninja takes to actually understand that I want to share my screen. Okay, here we are. So I've already prepared a little website here. And so let's start with the digital product, okay? What the digital products, and you see here, this is the widget. This is the symbol of the widget, the icon of the widget, and you find it here. Okay, digital products. As the description mentions, the digital products widget allows you to sell digital products such as ebooks, images, audios, and videos. What exactly does that mean? Let's see it in action, okay? And you will immediately understand it, all right? So, first of all, we have the it's the classical list widget that we have on our platform, right? So you add items, you add products, okay? In this case, they are digital products. So you add products to the list of items in this widget. We're going to see how this works, but as an anticipation, this basically allows you to sell, so to make money by selling or by allowing your customers to sell, for example, ebooks, for example, PDF documents. We have, I think somebody which is in our webinar, usually in our webinar, and they sell musical sheets, right? So you buy a digital, not a physical product, so not something that, as we saw in the previous webinars, in the e-commerce webinars, not like a physical product. You buy something which is digital, so again, a PDF, for example, or an image, or a code, access to something else, right? And the system, this widget, takes care of allowing the user to actually pay for the product, or better, first of all, to create, let's say, the landing page for this product, then allow users, your customers, to actually buy and pay for the product, and finally to deliver that, right, to take care of the digital delivery. And as you will see, there are many, many options that can make this extremely profitable and extremely interesting and powerful. So again, let's go check the list items, so the actual digital product that we want to sell. All right. In the digital products details, okay, so here we customize, we edit the details of the actual digital products, right? So the first thing is that we specify the price, okay? That's easy, right? As you see, we already have enabled e-commerce. So we have seen this already many, many times. In order for e-commerce to work on the websites, you have many widgets that work and do the actual work, right? So the digital products that we're seeing now, the e-commerce basic one where you sell products, then we have seen the food ordering and all those products, all those widgets, right? They all, let's say, rely on the details and the e-commerce options and details that you have set up here in the e-commerce section, right? So you basically have to enable e-commerce. Once you enable e-commerce, you can customize all of these details. Here in this case, for example, you can require login to use e-commerce. You specify the currency. As you see, we have many currencies available. Then where the orders are actually sent, right? The email with the orders are actually sent. And then, for example, the payment methods, and you will see that we have added a Stripe test, publish, let's say, public key and secret key, so we can actually complete the transaction and so on, right? So we have already enabled e-commerce, as we said, and therefore we already have, in this case, we already have the currency set up, right? So that's why we already have US dollars. And then we set up the price, right? Then we can tell the system that a login is required to access the widget, right? So you wouldn't even see the intro text. You would need to be logged in to actually access the widget itself. And then here we see already something which is pretty interesting, right? In a sense that, let's say, we said that this is a widget that allows you to sell digital products, right? Digital products are downloaded or viewed, which is considered a download. So you can set how many downloads, the maximum number of downloads that the user that purchases, that makes the purchase, can actually do, right? So you can set it to 1, okay, or 2, 10, whatever, a number. You can set it to unlimited period, or, and this is pretty interesting, you can set it to unlimited only if the user is logged in, right? So you have all of these options, either, again, a number, so 1 or whatever, unlimited. So every time he comes to the platform, he actually will be able to view and see and download, if that's the case, the actual digital product that he purchased, or do it only if he's logged in. All right. Then we specify what we called the intro content. What is the intro content? Let's say that the way we made it work, the way we made this widget work, is that you can specify some text which is presented to the user, to any user that comes to the website, right? So this is the intro title, which could be click and buy our PDF about our recipe, right? Our PDF recipe, right? Let's say that we want to sell a recipe, okay? And then this is the abstract. Click on the button below to buy the recipe, right? So let's say that, again, we are selling a PDF version so a digital version of a recipe, okay? So we can do this. And so this is the content that is shown before the user makes the purchase, okay? So now let's stop here. We can also add an image, obviously. Let's for the moment, let's stop. Let's add an image here, for example. And let's stop here for the moment, okay? So at this moment, we have created, let's say, the intro text, okay? All right, so let's go to the website. And as you see, okay, so we say click and buy our PDF recipe. So now we haven't purchased anything at the moment, right? We are just visiting the website, okay? So now this is what we should be able to do, right? As you see, we already have a button, okay, which says buy now, because then here we can specify the button text. Okay, so for example, our recipe, okay, and so we now save this. So we change the actual button, okay, and it says now buy now our recipe, and then it says it shows the actual dollars amount, the actual amount for actually buying this digital product, right? So we have seen that in this intro text part, we customize and we specify what actually we want to show to users who have not purchased the digital product. All right, let's proceed and let's jump to the main content. Okay, this is the actual content that will be shown once the user makes the purchase. All right, so again, let's reload. You see, we don't see anything here. Then here, these are the interesting part. It could even be, I mean, the digital asset, the digital product that you want to sell could even be here. Here we could put digital contents. Okay, because this content will never be seen by users who have not made the purchase. Okay, so we could specify this. This here. Okay. Now we won't do this because we said that we want to offer a PDF to download, but we could do this. Okay. What we can do instead, as you see here, is that we can add attachments. Okay. So in this case, for example, we have just quite simply uploaded a PDF file. Now, this is not a recipe, so it's just a regular PDF file, but we have attached it right to the to this content. So let's say that here we can add some intro, anything. As usual, we can add an image again here, all that. This is some regular content. And then we have added these two. We can add up to 2 attachments if, you know, like a recipe and I don't know, a coupon or something like that, right? Okay, so here we have uploaded this attachment. That is pretty standard stuff in the sense that we just upload a document from our computer, and then we say click here for the PDF, for the recipe PDF. Okay. All right. Now our digital widget is complete. Okay. So we have added the let's say intro text. Okay, what is shown when users come to the website and come to the page with the digital product. We have specified the buy now button text, and we have also specified the view button text that will be shown once we make the purchase. And then here we have actually specified, we have entered the details and the contents that will be shown after the user has purchased the digital asset. Okay, so now let's see it in action. Just as a quick reminder, remember we have uploaded an attachment, okay, that they will be able to download. So let's reload here, and then it says buy now our recipe. Okay, so as soon as we click on that, we are taken to the checkout cart, to the checkout modal, to the checkout window. Okay, as you see here, we have the credit cards available here because we have entered the Stripe keys, the Stripe details. So we just, you know, add all the details and all that, and then we click on proceed with payment. All right. Okay. So here we enter this, then we enter the dummy because this is the test mode. All right. So now we have paid our $100. All right. And now check this out. Then here we reload. And as you see that here now we have, again, we could have uploaded this, changed this. This is this content right here. Check the digital asset below. Okay. So we click here and here it is. You see, here we could put the digital contents, and then here we have the button with the copy that we added here. Click here for the recipe PDF. Click here for the recipe PDF. And here we download this, and now we have downloaded this PDF here. All right. The nice thing about this is that since we are logged in our account, let's say menu drop down, we have a voice and other item, which is called your digital products, right? If we click here, we get a pop-up. Let's say we get a window where we see all our digital assets, all the digital assets that we have purchased. And then if we click view, we are taken there. And then here we will see everything that we needed. Okay. So you have seen how easy it is to create and start selling. And we have completed a demo transaction on Stripe, obviously, but it would have been a regular one. So if you create an ebook, you don't need obviously you can use the usual platforms like Amazon or whatever, but the end goal, and as you know, and now I'm going to take a little bit of questions, the end goal of our platform is and always will be to give you control of give you and your customers, obviously, control of your business, right? Never build a house on rented land. That's what I've always heard, and that I think is the one of the most valuable lessons that I've learned so far. And given that, okay, you are on Spotify, we'll see this with the podcast. You are on Amazon, right, with your ebook. Amazon decides that your ebook is, it's not good anymore, or it's a topic that they don't want to cover. All your business is gone. The whole entirety of your business is gone, right? While obviously, if you use something like us, again, I want to push, and probably I'm not, as you know, a very good seller, but I want to push the idea that you need to take back control of your digital or online presence, right? And you do that with a platform like MobiFirst, because you create your own digital assets, e-commerce, digital assets, business, right? We are a hosting provider, right? So we will never say no, we don't like this kind of stuff, obviously, provided you abide by the law, right? So again, we give you a technology platform and you pay for it. So our incentive is to keep you on the platform, on YouTube, on any other platform, on Facebook or whatever. You are not paying, so you are the product, right? So that is a little bit the idea. So that is the idea behind these kind of widgets, right? Widgets that allow you to take back control of your business and of your digital life, digital business, digital enterprise. Obviously, for you and for your customers. So just imagine how many digital content creators you could approach with a widget like this one, right? So for example, I don't know, a painter or somebody. We talked a lot about NFTs or something like that. Just imagine, right, that you can download like a high-res version of a painting or something like that, or of a musical score, or because we uploaded a PDF, but you could upload an audio, right? So I don't know. I have, for example, I know a friend of mine is a therapist. He's a music therapist, right? So he could sell, and he actually does it. He sells some snippets of music that he creates specifically for certain diseases, for certain problems and all that. So you just go there and you create your catalog, actually answering Greg's question. Now, how would you create the homepage to display all of your PDFs in sort of a catalog way view? As we said, as we've seen before, it is a regular list. It is a regular list widget, let's say, or it's based on a regular list widget, right? So let's do an example, right? So let me share my screen again to answer Greg's question. So going back to what we were doing, let's see if it's actually sharing the screen. Okay, it should start straight. Okay, sharing now. So okay, now I've deleted in the database. I have deleted the actual purchase, right? So I'm back as I was before, right? So you see that you have this product, and then you just very simply, or you can even clone, very simply, you add another one. Okay, so this is $200, and then our PDF recipe. Gourmet recipe. Okay, blah blah blah. This is a gourmet recipe. Okay, and then we're going to change the image to something else. And as you see, you can show, okay, let's say, let's use this one, for example. And as you will see, so you have two products here. Buy now, a recipe, buy now, a recipe. Obviously, you can customize everything. And clearly, the system knows that you're purchasing one or that you're purchasing the other one, right? So let's say we go here, and then you say, okay, I want to buy this one. So that's $200. Okay. Proceed with payment. Okay. All right. And so now we paid our amount. Okay. And so now we refresh here, and you see that now this one needs to be purchased. This one has already been purchased. And if you check in out my digital assets, I have the gourmet one. Okay. Right. So this is obviously we didn't change anything else. But as you see here, we have one which is purchased and the other one which is not. And then you can purchase this one. So you can create your catalog as usual, as with any other widget. You can just say buy our special recipes and make your meals special. Okay, so as usual, this is regular stuff that we already know very well how to do on our platform. We can create very quickly. Now, in order to, let's say, save time and go straight to the point, I usually show you, let's say, the bare bones, right? So the essential elements of a widget to understand quickly how it works and what are its potentials. As you see, obviously, you can customize it. You can create your own catalog. Then clearly, we are using this CSS, this template, but we could change the CSS. We could make the buttons. For example, let's make the buttons a little bit bigger because these are a little bit small. So let's go to in the style. As you remember, we talked about this. We have this basics, let's say CSS, no, this skeleton CSS. So in the buttons, we say the padding 5 EM and 1 EM. All right, we're going to make them a little bit bigger. Oh. Okay, because, okay, so let's use our inspector to actually see if we are doing the right stuff. Okay, yeah, because this one is overwritten, right? Because this is a list item, so we're gonna add it here. We said padding 0.5 m, 1 EM. Okay, so now we're gonna save this, and then let's see again. And you see that our buttons are a little bit bigger. Let's make them even more bigger. And as if you remember, you can always do this you can always test your buttons first. You can always test your CSS here in the inspector. So again, let's go in the CSS. And then here we said that we wanted 1.5. Remember that as I said in the course, in when you specify like padding, margin, and all that, there are various formats that you can use. This is the format where you specify, first of all, top and bottom value, in this case padding, and then left and right values. Okay, so now you will see that the button is now bigger. We can grow the size and all that. Anyway, that was just a very quick thing just to show you that we can, I mean, this is just a regular widget, just like any other widget that we have on our platform, right? It's a regular widget in its behavior and in its integration with the rest of the platform. It is then a very special widget because, as you see, we have created a digital business, a digital products business in 5 minutes. Obviously, it takes me more because I want to, go deeper into stuff. But we have created. So people, if you do this, you create your recipes, you create, I mean, it can be anything. Again, an audio file. It can be, somebody asked, okay, let me see. Okay. Thanks, Chris. Does the platform support the one link from Stripe? I guess that's really from Keith is asking if the platform supports the one link from Stripe. I think we enabled that, but that's on Stripe end in reality. You can use the list preview for display of digital products. Yes, of course. It's a list. It's just a list. Would you think it would manage a streaming digital product film, or could it allow two options? One, see it stream, and two, download it for review it offline? Is there a video player in the widget suite? Yes. If, as usual, and that is, I think, the beauty of a platform like ours. Okay, so let me share again my screen. But as usual, what our platform allows you to do is it allows you to use and slice and dice in very many various ways, limited only by your imagination. Now, I don't often use this expression, the sky's the limit and all that, but in our case, that is actually pretty true, in a sense that, as we saw before, right, we created this digital. Which one is this one? Okay, this is the one we have purchased. Okay, as you see, right, we have purchased this one, and when we click here, we could put the digital contents, which is this. Okay, nothing stops us from actually putting here a video. Okay, so let me go get a video on Vimeo. Okay, nothing, absolutely nothing stops us from let's take this one, for example. I don't know if this one is embeddable. Maybe I'm taking a wrong one. Okay, share. No, sorry. For example, we can do it here. No. Okay, let's go on Vimeo and let's take a general image. What I'm trying to show you is that nothing. How do we go to the? Okay, let's go on YouTube. Nothing stops us from actually. Okay, let's say food. All right. Nothing stops us from putting a video here. Okay, right. So what that means is that people would see let's say the content which is presented, right, which is, let's say, the free content, the front end, let's say the marketing. This would be the marketing content, and once they buy, you see, they get access to the video, right? So I mean, it has literally unlimited possibilities. This widget has unlimited possibilities, because what you can do again is, and what you were asking actually, John, is manage a streaming or digital product. You can add anything you want. Is because you can, let's say, it's an easy way to put behind a dedicated paywall, okay, a dedicated paywall, some digital content, right? So again, it could be streaming something. It can be a video that you want to sell, right? And then the ability to limit the number of downloads. This should be actually, and I think I will correct it. This should be downloads / views, right? Because every time we actually refresh this, right, this is another view. Okay, this is another, let's say, download. Okay, and then obviously you can actually open it and view it as regular content. So as you see, by the way, you could have more than one content, more than one digital content, digital asset behind this paywall, right? Because you could have a video, you could have some text here, and you can also have some documents that you could download. Again, just imagine, honestly, even if obviously I think the best way to do this is by using our academy, because that has a much more, let's say, complete and useful and let's say effective students management, courses management, lessons management, and everything, right? Obviously. But nobody stops you from actually using this tool to actually sell courses. Nobody stops you from doing that, right? Because quite simply, you would put one lesson, another lesson, another lesson, $50, $50, $50, $50. And then people could even choose to buy their own, just some specific lessons without having to buy a whole course. Again, obviously, if you have in mind to sell courses, the academy is the way to go, clearly. But again, this is a very quick and easy way. We did it in a second. It took us more to find the video to actually add to the, let's say, product, to the item, than to actually do it. Okay. Can you go over the affiliate setup? Keith, we're gonna, okay, let's see. Maximum 5 cents for digital widget attachment. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna spill a little bit of the beans and digital products. List raw digital products. I think it is. Wow, 25 megs. Yeah, I guess it's 25 megabytes. So it's enough for an audio, a pretty long audio, and stuff like that. Obviously, yes, Adrian, you can upload a zip file as an attachment. You can upload, let's say, pretty much anything that you want here. So where is it? And by the way, let me show you. Now, honestly, I'm not sure I have a zip file. A zip, okay, yeah, okay. So you see, we are now uploading another file. Let's save and update. Okay, and then here, all right. And you see now we have two files, two attachments here. One is the PDF and the other one is the zip file. Here it is, you see. So you can upload literally whatever you want, a text file, any other file. Again, I don't know, a template for Adobe Premiere. I'm obviously saying anything. And usually what I would suggest is using our tools, so these kind of tools, to keep to see. I mean, I'm not saying ditch YouTube. We use YouTube for, you know, our channel, right? For our replays, because it is useful. It has a very wide reach, but always keep also control of your properties, right? Because don't put all your eggs in one basket, and build as much as you can of your, let's say, empire, of your business on owned land, not on rented land. And platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is called now, anything else, they are rented land. Not because, obviously, I mean, technically you rent also some space on our servers and all that, but they are rented in a sense that their business model and their business objectives, they do not align, or they rarely align with your business objectives, right? So while our, let's say, the business objectives and the business model of a platform like ours, and especially, you know, the attention that we put in making sure that this is a successful platform, they usually align a lot more with what your goals are. What is maximum size? Yeah, okay. Is it possible to do the recurring membership for digital products on the platform? Keith, yeah, we usually suggest. I mean, that is the definition. If you think about it, do recurring membership for digital products. That is the definition of the academy, right? That is the description of the academy. It's a recurring membership for digital products, right? Because again, also in the academy, and I don't know if you have used the academy or if you know how the academy works, but it's, I mean, and whoever bought and will buy my CSS course, they will see how the academy works on the student side. And then if you are interested, and if Scotty thinks it's valuable topic to cover, I will talk about this too. But that is exactly what it is for, because you create courses which are a collection of digital products, right? Because you then add a video, you can add attachments to lessons and all that, and then you can manage the subscriptions part. It can be a one-time payment like my course, or it can be a subscription. So in that case, I would strongly suggest you use the academy, which can be obviously integrated with your websites, in a sense that the academy gives you the ability to build and to use your own landing page, your own vanity, let's say, domain, but clearly you can just add it to your website and then say, go click here for my courses. I don't remember if I showed you my personal website, right? Which is this one. And as you see, I have added a link to my courses, right? So you can do it on your website too. By the way, this is going to be a template. I plan on doing this as a template, and as you see, I'm pretty proud actually of this, because it's I try to replicate and to mimic how terminals used to work, right, with a prompt and all that. Sorry, it was a mosquito here. A prompt you used to work and all that. So that is a little bit what one of my pet projects, and it's going to be presented, and it's going to be added as a template if somebody wants to use something, which is a little bit weird if you think about it. It's a little bit nostalgic also in a way. And as usual, again, let's never forget that the majority of this was some JavaScript. Yes, I had to do some programming, but it's mostly CSS. It is absolutely mostly CSS. Okay, let's go back to some questions. Silvia, with the digital product widgets with audio MP3, can it have a feature snippet, 30-second simple music or sound before buying the digital product? Yes, sure, because again, we divided the intro text, okay, the intro text here, and the actual main content. In the intro text, we have the intro body, which means that you can obviously click here for a sample, okay? You can create whatever, you just link it to a sample, okay? Right? Okay. And so, and then, I don't know, you create a product, you create a button, right, in PDF, create a button in HTML. All right, so now again, let me clear the purchase again. Okay, don't look behind the scenes, it's this one. Yes, it's this one. Okay, so now I don't have the purchase anymore. Okay, so here, and okay, it should, I think, okay, I think there's just a small issue here, but you can have it, you can even have it in the abstract if you think about it. Now this should actually, the problem with these demo sites is that they don't have the domain, and often when a website doesn't have its own domain, not all features work, not everything, especially internal links, work. But as you have seen, in the intro body, okay, you can specify a button, a link to a preview. You can even add, if we went on Vimeo, on YouTube, you can add embed a video, for example, which is the sample video, or anything you want to add. And then your customers will always have the button here, buy now, and then they can proceed and buy actually the product itself. Okay. Yeah, it can be the digital download or elsewhere. But so the link or email, capture the name or email for autoresponder. Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Would it be great to have if we embed it? Well, okay, Keith, that's okay. Would it be great if we embed a video to have a view only on specific URLs or IP address? Yes, we could. That those are not usually very reliable methods, honestly, to prevent limiting someone stealing the content. Also, because you can always download it and all that. So I don't know how effective that would be. John, my digital asset is a film that runs for 80 minutes. It's a 5 gigabytes, and I use Amazon AWS S3. Okay, but you can always use and embed it with an iframe, right? You can all, because if it's a video, it's a URL. It has a URL, right? Because it needs to be reachable on the internet, and it is in a video format, right? So it's an MP4 or whatever. So you can always get a player, or even actually, I think that you can in our platform. I need to make sure that that is the case. But you can. I think that if you just add the URL, so John, this is specifically for you or for anybody else. If you add the URL in the video section here, I think the system is smart enough to understand that it needs to use an internal video player. So try that. If not, John, I would ask you to open a ticket, because I think that would be a nice feature to add to the platform. So let me know if that works. If it doesn't, I would be more than happy to actually work on that at some point. Vincente Rodriguez, are we able to translate to different languages? Well, yeah. I mean, you can obviously use the usual, localization features that you always have on the MobiFirst websites, right? So you can, instead of writing click and buy, you can write in Spanish, in French, whatever. It's always the same. You can always use the same features and the same tools that you use in any other part of the platform. Can put sample link in your autoresponder in Kotlin form, freeform. Yes, I mean, absolutely. Omar, okay, thank you. Actually, John, yeah, thank you. Actually, Stephen, can you allow customers to decide what localization they use, even if the white label is in English? Stephen, if you are, or Stefan, I don't know, I think Steve, but sorry if I mispronounce your name. Steve, perfect. Okay, awesome, thank you. Well, the language of the white label has nothing to do with the, it is the default language of the websites, but every website, and we're going to see this, I'm going to quickly show you this here. In the localization part, you can change the site language to whatever you want. So, and you can change the default date format and the numbers format. So every website can be in its own language. Bear in mind that 90% of the contents of the website are something that you write, right? So what this part right here, what the site language part right here refers to is the buttons that are, let's say, added automatically by the system, right? So close, address, so the labels and the buttons that you cannot at the moment control, and so which are, let's say, added automatically, and that again users might want to customize, might want to localize, right? But you can have, the language of the white label has absolutely nothing to do with the language of the websites. Also, because as you see now, this is the full version of the white label with additional stuff, but as you see, there are tons of modules, so the language is related to the whole platform, while the websites are one part of the platform. Let me show you one last thing. Obviously, we didn't have enough time to see the podcast, which is really, really powerful and really beautiful. And it's, I won't do it in 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So maybe we can start looking at it, but we're gonna devote next webinar to the podcast. Every time somebody makes a purchase, now we have deleted, if you remember, we have deleted. So let's make a purchase. Let's buy this one this time. Okay, proceed with payment. By the way, notice how seamless and how easy it is the checkout process on our platform. I like the way the checkout process is done, because it, again, it removes any friction when users want to buy, because when users want to buy, they need to click, enter the credit card, or again click one link, and that's it. Okay, and you see here we have this order, and by the way, we can check the order itself. You see, by the way, every e-commerce order generates an invoice, a receipt. And by the way, notice this is the invoice heading, and we customize this in the e-commerce section. Here you see invoice heading. This is the invoice heading, right? And then we could even, if I don't know, we notice that somebody is abusing, we see the downloads. Okay, we always check the downloads, and we can even delete that purchase for that user. So check this out. You see, okay, now we have it. And by the way, okay, we need to refresh. And by the way, you see that now we have more downloads, and then we can delete this purchase. Okay. Okay, you see, and so if I go here now, I can buy it back. My purchase was taken away from me. So yeah, that's that is well, we talked only about the digital products, but the I think it was interesting. I don't know. I hope it was, obviously, but I think it was pretty interesting because, again, it is a very, very powerful tool that you can very easily use. I think the success is found in anything when there's power, which is easy to use, right? Because otherwise, if it's easy but not powerful, okay, what's the point? If it's powerful but not easy, again, it's you end up not using it. I think that we have spent, it took us an hour. It took me not an hour, but 40 minutes to talk about it. But it was because we wanted to go deeper into all the details. I wanted to show it to you and all that. But you can create your catalog of digital products, again, a book, an ebook, a movie, a video, even a small course in 10 minutes. So yeah, I guess that's really and I actually and I want to use these occasions during which we talked about this, because I know that the list of widgets is very long and somehow also intimidating. And so sometimes thank you all, guys, thank you very much. And so you end up using always the same widgets, right? I want to explore the platform with you because there are so many things, so many products within one product, right? As you have seen many times, within the site builder, there are 10 other products, because the e-commerce is a product on its own. The booking widget, the digital products, the food ordering, the podcast, those are all products on their own. And while obviously we usually want to offer them to you because you are, let's say, the most valuable, the core components of our customers, all those can be additional products that you could sell to your customers, right? So you go to, anybody, and you say, okay, I've built your website for X amount of money. Now, do you want the food ordering? Do you want to sell digital products? Do you want to sell your recipes? Do you want to actually have a podcast? And we're going to say this, and sorry if we didn't take, I mean, if we didn't have time, but it would have been, I mean, it would have made, let's say, justice to the digital widget and to the podcast to cram them together. So it was a bad planning on my part. I was happy to actually spend this time talking about the digital widget, because again, the more I use it, the more I find it powerful. So if there are some final questions, we still have a few more minutes. Otherwise, all I can do, you've seen, I've played a little bit with CSS, and it's really fun and it's immediate. I mean, you feel immediately like a small wizard with a lot more power in your hands. So I just remind you that we have our CSS course open. You can buy it, and remember that when you buy it, and this is just for you, let's say, for you guys who actually read and know about this on the webinars, you will then have 1 hour. Let's say I will arrange a lesson, a dedicated lesson with 4 people for 1 hour, and that's going to be let's say an hour that you will have with me, asking any questions you might have, spending time together, spending time going through the course or whatever, because I really want to make sure, because again, we made a course, we spent a lot of effort, so that's why we added a price tag to that. But I want to make sure that you have the best tools and the best knowledge to be successful with your business and with MobiFirst. Because again, as I said before, our business models align, right? Because literally we make money, we are successful if you are successful, right? So that is why we want to spend, and we spend so much time making sure that you have the best tools available. I guess this is pretty much all.
Yes.
Thank you guys all. It's great to
learned again. Thank you so much. I think that's why there wasn't a whole lot of questions, because everybody was the same. Like, wow, this is cool and easy. And the questions that did came in were right on point. So thanks, everybody. Also shows why you want to attend these, because you get to ask some of these questions right off the cuff that you don't even know is a question. And so everyone, John, Jody, everybody, Hazel, Lyle, Keith, thanks so much. Silvio, once again, nailed it. Thank you so much. This will be on YouTube.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.